Hi guys. Morning. Coming or going?
No idea.
No idea. Well, it's only starting to get out of the way. You got some big names up today, haven't you? No. Oh, testing going all right? No idea. Is this your first day here?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I was supposed to come down earlier on in the month, but they decided they didn't need me. I don't know whether or not to be upset by that, but...
Everybody's needed. Are you liaison today, or?
Yes, we're bidless.
Okay.
Tabardless, yes.
Do you mind then if I ask you a question?
Okay.
And bearing in mind I'm filming at the same time, if that's okay. I was here on Monday and I spoke to one of your colleagues.
Today?
Friday?
It is Friday,
Yeah, I was here on Monday. There's a couple of liaison officers here who very friendly, and as they are, because that's what they do. And I put a question to him about whether or not we were allowed to slow walk in front of the lorries as a form of protest, and so I've actually said like 100 metres from that pole up there or to here.
Okay.
He went there, liaised with the Bronze, who said that we could do our protest out here with banners, etc. But he wouldn't. It was Surrey's policy not to allow us to slow walk in front of the lorries.
Okay.
That was on Monday, and warnings were issued to people who did try to walk in front of one lorry that day. But I noticed this morning that when there was a lorry arrived, that the police actually really facilitated the peaceful walking in front of that lorry without having any arrests. Is there a different policy now, or?
I'm not in a position to comment on policy.
Right.
Force policy, but you're right to notice that this morning was, and it may have been different, but obviously I wasn't there, so.
Okay. Well, from watching it on film, I believe it was different, and all I was going to say was to make the point that perhaps if we were to have consistency over it, I think that would answer a lot of questions. And to be honest, you've seen how people have reacted here. They've been very peaceful, very jovial. All they're trying to do is raise awareness, and I think that if somebody thinks it's their right to walk in front of a lorry and you can facilitate that for 100 metres, then I think we're...
The request has been passed up. That we can have some form, as you say, consistency or some agreement. So we'll see what comes back down. But
Thank you.
I have made the request on behalf of...
if you could just keep us in the loop, and because if we have clarity, then nobody's going to get into any trouble, and we're going to avoid unnecessary arrest, perhaps. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for that. Cheers.
No problem.
Make sure you let
Will be arrested for obstructing the highway.
That's fine. Arrest
we have too
me,
much
I get
traffic
to sue
building
you
up.
Again.
Okay.
Arrest me, I get to sue you again, officer. It's no skin off my nose. Please don't arrest me for something that hasn't gone through court for the past 3 years. Anything but that. I'm so scared to get arrested.
Right, you're under arrest.
What?
I'm not. I've got to say this is my own defence, not meant to make questions. Something later line and call. Anything to say, give him evidence.
You've just pushed me to the floor.
How can you arrest someone when they're not even...
You realise they'll be getting sued again. They'll be suing you again. Yeah? You're going to make your local firm look stupid.
Hi.
40048. You're hitting my arms.
Right, we'll get you from underneath. There you go.
We love you.
Leave him here, mate. Leave him here.
No comment. Book, blanket.
You do realise that a case has just been thrown out of court of what you've just done? Stopping somebody from walking in front of a lorry.
No warning to this man prior to arresting him.
I believe that what you're doing is illegal.
It is illegal.
Officer 3635, can I give you that, please?
No.
Can I give you that, please? Are you acting under your oath today? Will you please take this? This is a copy of your police oath.
I will not take that.
You will not take that. Okay. Will you, Officer 40048? Are you acting under your police oath today? What have you arrested this man for? Do you mind telling me what you've arrested this man for? Can you tell me, sir, with the camera, what have you arrested this man for?
Move back slightly, please, sir. Move back, please. Thank you.
What police station am I being taken to?
We don't know
What
at this
station
time.
am I being taken to?
Possibly Salfords, which isn't far away.
One thing.
You're actually digging that cuff into my hands there. Are you released? Because I'm not going anywhere, am I? Just
I'll hold your arm. How about that?
Look what you've done to my wrists.
You're okay.
I'm not okay. Look what you've done.
Can you see that copy there, sir, without taking it? Officer 3635, I'm just asking you a question.
I'm busy currently, sir. I'll speak to you later.
I'm not being given...
I'll just take your number, sir. Thank you very much.
You just pushed me to the floor and now you're telling me to sit up.
Do you want
You've just aggressively pushed me to the floor and now you're telling me to sit up.
Have you ever been on a
footage.
demonstration
It's
before?
on footage.
40048. Have you ever seen people exercise their human rights
You've just pushed me
to
to the
express
floor and now
themselves
you're
and
telling me to sit
assemble?
up.
Have you had any training in this area, 40048?
I have previously just informed these officers that we take this form of protest and that there's been no consistency within the police how they react to it.
40048.
Sorry, 40048.
Never been on a demonstration.
10 minutes, quarter of an hour later, have you still been told what you're arrested for? Okay.
No. They've still not read me my legal rights. They've pushed me to the floor and shackled me.
I've got vehicles around the minibus.
Are you comfortable?
No,
Is your
it's
hand-
actually hurting.
Your hands hurt?
Yeah,
Could you just take those off? It's no need to have him under cuffs. He was a gentle, peaceful man.
won't uncuff him, look at him.
There's been nothing but peaceful protests
He
here.
wanted to get me in cuffs all morning, this fug.
Why are you holding
Yeah?
He said it hurts him. It's been just making
But he doesn't.
Your hands hurt?
Yeah, he's slyly digging the cuffs into my wrist.
Twisting the cuffs. It's absolutely clear. He's twisting the cuffs deliberately.
We can see it. We can see
Look
him.
into the eyes.
I'm new to this. I'm just concerned about him. Do you think he's getting cold on the floor?
I've asked him
He
if he'd like to
doesn't
sit
care
up,
whether
he's
he
refused.
is.
Because
They
you
don't
pushed me
care
to the
about
floor.
that. They don't care
You
about
pushed me
that.
down and now you wish for me to stand up. It doesn't work like
Gave
that.
you the option.
You put me on the floor, so you're going to take me off the floor. I'm going to make you work for this arrest. I'm quite heavy as well, so... Hope you've had your broccoli.
Well, you must be getting cold on the thing. Do you want something under?
Tiger wasn't you need to come in.
Yeah, bonds to Oracle 1, sorry. Do you have facility to warn
There'll
or
be
not?
more congestion when the police
Can you tell me
arrive.
about your hands?
Take him away when
Yeah,
the van
the-
arrives. They'll block the way.
He's twisting the
Restricted and he's
cuffs.
twisting the
definitely.
cuffs.
There's no need for him to hold those cuffs
You
like
don't need to
that.
hold him.
None
He's
at all.
cuffed. He's cuffed. Can you let go, please?
None at
because
all.
he's cuffed. This
Can you
is
stop
unnecessary.
twisting the cuffs?
Stop
This is
twisting
totally
the cuffs.
unnecessary.
Causing him
Could you-
unnecessary discomfort and pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's no need for you to hold the cuffs. How many? Can we have a little tot up of how many police officers there are here? Just standing outside of the car.
Five. Stop digging the cuffs into my hands.
Could you stop,
There's
please?
somebody wearing cuffs who's.
This is all being recorded, and he's telling us it's hurting.
He's asking you
There
to
is
stop
no
hurting
need
him.
to even
Are you
hold
that
the cuffs.
pigging arrogant?
No, he's cuffed. His
You
hands
are
are held.
arrogant
That's all you
bastard,
need
you
to
are, I
do.
tell ya.
Would you please stop pressing on the cuffs and just let go?
If you can go to the scene, if I can use you as a warning.
How would you describe
He's twisting it slightly and
Public.
secretly.
Highway.
Twisting slightly
Highway.
and secretly.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Public.
Please stop.
Public. Highway. Highway. Public.
Will you please stop twisting the cuffs? There's no need for you to do anything.
Why won't you respond to our request?
This young man is handcuffed.
Because one of our colleagues is suing them, they turned away from arresting him and decided to arrest this.
Will
I know,
remain
but
in
he's
charge
What's he gonna
from
do?
the moment
He can't
that he
move.
is detained.
he
And he
has
does
no
not
need to
come
do that.
at a cheap
quite
rate.
aggressive.
We're the police liaison officers.
What can he do? He would lie there more comfortably with his cuffs on.
You're supposed to be liaising.
Could you tell me why this gentleman's been arrested?
I can't at the moment, no, I'm afraid not.
Can you come here for a moment, please?
We have you're one single person who is on the floor in pain in cuffs.
Right.
Okay, is there any need for him to be held by the cuffs as well, which is hurting him? Or could you, with the amount of police around, ask if he could be just allowed to lie there in comfort?
The use of the force is down to the officer doing it to justify and to explain.
He's done nothing apart from being taken to the floor by the police.
Okay, I don't know, unfortunately.
Well, that's what I'm telling you as a liaison officer. I'm telling you that is what's happened, and it has been recorded on film, and he hasn't been read rights. He doesn't know where he's going or why he's going there, and as far as anybody else is concerned, he's being kidnapped.
Right,
It's no more than kidnapping at the moment because he has no idea what he's done wrong.
DC Hatcher, if you must know.
Need to be liaising a bit more, guys.
But unfortunately, as you can see, it's happened quite quickly.
It did. There were no warnings given, that's why.
I don't know what warnings were given.
And you're right, it was very quick. Absolutely right. I'm glad you said that. Thank you.
I haven't had a chance to talk to my colleagues about what's happened.
Well, I spoke to you about consistency within the way that this is policed.
Yes.
We've gone from one extreme to the other where this morning it was facilitated and then the second time that this happens, right, this guy here is taken out without warning and I have it on film. That he's taken out without warning. Why no consistency within the way that Surrey police are behaving here?
I can make a phone call to the commander, the bronze commander. And ask,
who is your bronze commander?
It is. We'll find out for you. I don't know. It's just got.
It might be a good idea if you knew, because otherwise you're not going to get hold of him. But
well, I've got a phone number.
Okay. I'm sure he'd be upset if you didn't know who he was.
I think I would. I will ask questions and I'll come back to you.
Okay.
With what we have.
We have a situation here which I feel was totally avoidable. There was no need for it, and had there been consistency, we would have known that this guy was going to get taken out immediately. He didn't even have a clue. He was taken from behind. Without warning, just saying you're under arrest. So.
We were warned that we might be doing something they disagreed with this morning, but we weren't warned of an arrest. This individual wasn't warned that he would be arrested. And he had something shouted at him unintelligibly.
Did you actually film the rearrest?
Yes.
I'm just writing down everybody that.
I've got it, yeah.
I'm not in a position to comment on what I didn't see or
Well,
what I didn't hear.
why weren't you here to see it?
Okay, so you'll come back to me with an answer to that, would you?
In terms of what consistency?
In what I just asked you, yes. What is the general policy of the Surrey Police here today regarding what they seem to facilitate this morning and what they are now doing by arresting somebody without warning?
Okay, yeah.
We need some kind of.
I can express an opinion based on what I saw this morning, and
Yeah.
that it was facilitated peacefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But why the circumstances are different this time around? I'm not.
I'm
I didn't see.
that is for the judges or magistrates to find out what the differences, but I'm just asking about the consistency and how we stand. That's all I want to know.
You're entitled to have some clarification on that. As my colleague said, he'll speak to the Bronze Commander.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to you and let you know what we intend to do.
If you could come back to me, I would be very grateful. Thank you very much indeed. So what we've got is we've still got a situation where our colleague is on the floor. He's still being held. I think it was 11. What time was it?
11:30.
So how long's it been on the floor? About 20 minutes. Okay, so for 20 minutes.
Pulling my hands.
Can you stop twisting his...
20 minutes now. This guy has been on the floor in this uncomfortable position.
Not attempting to run.
We have no clarification on why he's been arrested, and I've asked for this to be clarified.
You ready to stand up?
We have some more police joining us.
You've not told me why I'm being arrested. Why am I being arrested, officer?
You have to tell me. Can I just say that thank you for adding extra context?
You didn't
Has
say
he
it.
been read his rights?
It's all filmed. We did not say it.
Who conducted it?
You're gonna look such a
No comment?
Warned or anything.
Is that no comment? 4004.
I don't know what's happening.
It's a direct question.
Fella! Oi! I don't know what's happening behind me. Can you...
48. Why are you detaining
The other monkey's behind you. Don't
Stop
worry.
twisting them cuffs into
What did
my
you expect
hands.
to be happening behind you?
Handcuff unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
It's unlawful. I would assume the police do unlawful handcuffing, unlawful arrest, unlawful imprisonment, and malicious prosecution for arresting me for the same thing you're about to arrest this guy.
We're not going to get this chap in a car. And we have to carry him to us to transport him at least to the RV over.
How many of them are there now?
What's going on here? What's happening? Who's in charge?
Can you go and take all that film of all their numbers?
Who's the senior officer?
It's completely legal.
Who's the senior officer here?
As provided by several.
Who is the senior officer? Is there anybody in
Can we take your badge numbers, please?
Assault!
13 fucking coppers for one.
You're going to get your asses sued to hell for this.
Where's your senior officer?
Why the Surrey police suddenly being all macho? You weren't macho last year. You took 3 weeks to arrest me.
Come on, be careful with him.
Why are you all being macho? You looked at his record and you're targeting him, are you? You weren't like this last year.
You whack my head into
Can we be a bit careful with him?
Stand up.
Can we back up?
Can you let us know how you feel?
This isn't right. Can you say something?
Why is this man being taken away?
There's no need to chuck him around.
Why have you kidnapped this man?
Are you alright in there? How do you feel?
Who's the senior officer here?
Unlawful
Has he got the car case?
officer here. Walk on the highway. It's not
Who is the senior officer here?
It's a shambles, that's what this is, a shambles.
The senior officer here?
Total shambles. Look at the state of this, eh? Look at this.
Surrey police.
No, we didn't see what happened. We didn't hear the warning.
Would you like to watch it on film? I've got it here.
Okay, I don't know. Let me find out what the official line is and I'll come back to you.
Thank you. If we could find out why he's been arrested and where he's been taken, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
Get that one.
By standing by and doing nothing when someone's actually making an illegal arrest, you're being part of that process. It's not as simple as just you're a good one, he's a bad one.
No, yeah, you're right. It's not.
So you should step in and protect the public at that point as a police liaison officer.
Do you know what? What, I don't know your name.
You're not going to get my name.
Okay, but you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Thank
and
you.
so next time, we'll do it differently. Okay. And I'll try and be a bit more involved. Yeah.
Because he shoved him to the floor unnecessarily.
I'm not promising you that I can stop him from acting the way that he has, or if I can try and justify the force that he's used. But I will promise you that next time we'll get more involved, and we'll try something. That you try and move over to the side as much as possible, just because I don't want anyone to get to the
No, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Yeah, thank you.
It's going. Yeah, no, I agree. But now it's going.
And the reckless
guys,
you caught on evidence.
Just for a minute.
Can we talk about that? Because he drove right into the path of an oncoming vehicle. The van driver drove right into the path of oncoming traffic. The police actually facilitated him in doing so. And then he nearly hit one of your own officers' evidence gatherers.
Where was this?
Just down the road there.
I didn't see that.
He nearly hit one of your own officers. Another officer had to grab him by the chest and drag him out of the way. Right. This was obviously reckless endangerment. And then the officers facilitated him fleeing the scene of the crime.
Was that potentially not a disciplinary issue then? If you're talking about one officer injuring or being reckless as to whether or not...
Considering the show I've seen from the force today, I think all of you've got disciplinary problems. Because that was an unlawful arrest. He wasn't read his rights. He wasn't told what he was being arrested for, and neither were we. We asked over 25 times, what is he being arrested for? Not one answer. That is an unlawful arrest, wrongful imprisonment, assault. To be honest with you, you're acting as traitors. You're not working in the interest of the public right now. You're facilitating a large corporation, a large multinational corporation conglomerate. There's not just one corporation here, there's several of them. Yeah. With a front company, a limited front company, with limited liability of I think £20. They can cause ecocide here, they can destroy everything for miles around, and they have £20 liability, and that's a front company for the big oil companies. You are facilitating that from happening. You're facilitating that happening right now.
You're asking where the gentleman's been taken?
Yes, please.
He has gone to Salford's.
Right.
Salford's custody.
Okay.
In terms of consistency, that's going to be a longer term question that they're going to have to come back to me on.
Okay.
So, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, so can we get, if we haven't got consistency answered, can we get what is the general policy of the police today until that information comes back to us about the consistency of what you plan to do long term? What is going to happen today now, because we've had two differing ways of dealing with a situation, one which I think was totally out of order, the other I believe passed well for everybody. You know, it ended up with us doing what we wanted to do, and you not having to have too much hold up. There must have been the best part of 3/4 of an hour, if not longer, of a hold up there while police vans and things came back for that one arrest, which has caused more disruption to the public than anything that, you know, our little walk to that post up there, which I think was what we tried to agree on Monday. So,
was that what was tried to agree on?
Yes, I was actually asked by the liaison officer then that if he put it to his bronze that we were going to do that, how far would we be thinking about? And I gave him the example of this post, which is about 100 metres or so from the gate. Yep. And I said we would walk at a reasonable rate, not stop. And he went away with that and came back and said that the bronze would not tolerate that, and it was Sussex's policing policy, not to do so, despite what we'd already brought to the attention of the officer, that a case had recently been thrown out of magistrate's court for the same thing, and the magistrate actually said that they didn't want the police bringing these kind of cases because they're only going to get thrown out, because there's an article in European Rights which says that it's part of an accepted protest to walk in front of vehicles even if it causes disruption, as long as we don't stop and cause an obstruction, which is, I think it's section 137, willful obstruction of the highway involves being stationary at the time, and nobody has been stationary, and to walk an agreed distance, I think, makes more sense than to aggravate people with arrests, which may well result in a reverse suing of the police for wrongful arrest, should that be shown to be right. And you've already got one case of that happening against a lady here. So we need to avoid that for the taxpayers, if nobody else, because they're paying for these cases to be brought to court. They're paying for everything that's happening here with the police. If we can avoid that, and what we intend to be is peaceful, I don't think you could say we've been anything but. So we don't like aggression, and I think that was aggressive over there. But if we can come to that arrangement where we know where we stand and we have consistency, like I said, that would be great for everybody, I think. Okay.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Thank you for listening. Cheers.
But was it you I said to?
Probably, I was talking to you a lot.
I'm sorry, I don't like saying you and pointing.
No, it's okay. That's good enough for me.
But we did say, didn't we, that next time we should get more involved?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, hindsight's a great thing, but now, unfortunately, somebody is suffering for it in a cell. And surely, you know, if you're a liaison, should you not be at the front of any kind of a demonstration like that to advise or liaise with those in that demonstration to say that they are now putting themselves at risk?
Yes.
But you were at the back.
Yes. You've already made this point.
Yeah. I don't want to rub it in, but it is a valid point. And like I say, the whole end up of this story is the fact that somebody is now going to sit in a cell until such times as he can be.
Sounds like a problem for you, but for someone who maybe have claustrophobia.
It is a problem for us. Do you know why it's a problem for us? Because that's not the desired outcome for anyone.
And because you're going to get sued for unlawful arrest again.
Well, so that's one example of why it might not be.
Yeah, but in the meantime, don't you achieve what I believe to be the
in the heat at the moment, don't they? And perhaps
3 years now. 3 years.
Well, I can't account for a decision that we made over that sort of period of time.
I actually believe.
Well, I can't.
I believe that the police, knowing full well that these charges will get dropped at some point, whether it gets to court or not, I believe that they know that, and their objective is actually to just have bail rights put bail conditions enforced on somebody so that they can't come back to this site, which in turn intimidates other people.
Give him bail conditions if he's not charged with an offence.
Well, I'm not saying. Well, surely why is he in a cell then if he's not going to be charged?
You get charged, it will just get dropped later on.
That's what I'm saying. You will get charged with whatever silly law they make up, or bylaw, or whatever, which will be thrown out because, I mean, it's been proved that the police at Barton Moss stole the footpath sign in an attempt to make out it was a highway, and there's pictures of them putting it in the back of the van. But, you know, this ridiculous stuff, and at the end of the day, the whole idea of it is to get somebody away from this particular place, to stop them having a voice, and thereby intimidate others into not coming down here and deal with a process or a protest like that.
But then you look at the example that you gave to me not half an hour ago, where we discussed the crane coming in. Do you remember? We talked about, so that, I think that maybe contradicts slightly what you're saying, because that is facilitating a piece of
it was, but then again we come back to the consistency. I mean, I imagine that those who walked in front of that crane were under the impression that they were then allowed to do that exact same thing without fear of being arrested, otherwise they would have been arrested the first time, or at least warned.
And may I just quickly add to this, that it has been ruled by a court that slow walking is a lawful protest. Therefore, what they've just done is completely unlawful. It's an unlawful arrest.
When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, we liaise between yourselves and the command structure, so Bronze, and that's my understanding.
Well, I think you should be liaising more with the people on the ground here, who are the ones that are actually doing this, the thing we're talking about.
If we've got, there are 3 officers there, 1 detained person, and 5 or 6 of you protesters standing behind them with cameras, etc., etc.
Yes.
All asking questions to the officers kind of in charge.
Yeah.
I was on the other side of the road because I didn't want to get involved and be another police officer.
Yeah, but I mean,
so can I
we could have arranged a situation where we had one person talking and one person answering. We could have done that, but because the arresting officer had actually said nothing either to the guy he arrested or to anybody else as to why or what he was doing, he was not willing to undertake any kind of conversation, even to the point where, you know, he was being told that he was hurting that person on the ground. You know, it's at that point we need somebody to be liaising. You know, I don't know, but I think that you should have been more involved. I'm not criticising you because it's probably the first time you've been involved in something like this. And
as you said, next time we will. Next time we will get closer. What I would say from your side is, if something like this happens again, come to us instead of asking the officer in charge. Because if you, or not the officer in charge, the arresting officer, because you're not getting any joy from them.
He just showed his support of the British gas van. He might get into trouble.
Yeah. Hello. Mr. Bennett, would you like to come inside?
No, I'm afraid I haven't got time in terms of that. Cheers.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.
That was nice. Yeah, no, they did ask me, and I was planning to, but unfortunately the transport meant I haven't had time, so I'm just going to stay with you.
Sorted that.
Yeah.
No man's land. No, you can't.
Hi, I'm kind of assuming you're the BBC.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Hello. Hi, Keith Taylor should be here shortly, so I don't know if you do want to do both of us together, or I can do one.
Well, we'll do.
Get something
short of time.
Oh, well, I've got to go at 2:45, so I really have to be somewhere in London, which gives me about 45 minutes. So.
That's right, we're not going to take that long.
But no, there are lots of other people here who want me as well.
Way too cold for that.
All the frackers are crackers.
Yeah, if we can get a few banners behind me, like, that's all right. You've been round I've just got off the train where they
At least you got on a train.
Well, this was a train. I was planning to go and visit them as well, but the train was ended up about an hour late from London to here.
Okay, so look at me, ignore the camera. What's the purpose of your visit here today?
Well, I'm here today to show support for the people who are protesting against the drilling here. They're saying no drilling, no fracking. And one of the things I'm focusing on today is very much the global issues. The fact that we know we have to leave at least 2/3 of our known fossil fuel reserves in the ground if we're going to avoid catastrophic climate change. That's the International Energy Agency saying that, not just me. But there's also, of course, very much local concern about the local environmental impacts. And there's also concern nationally about the fact that we are subsidising fossil fuels by about £400 per person per year. That's based on IMF figures. You know, we shouldn't be heading in this direction in Britain in 2016. What we need to do is be investing in renewables, investing in energy conservation, and the people here today are really expressing very strongly their feelings, and I'm here to support them.
The company are saying they won't frack. Fracking can only happen 1,000 metres down. They're only going 700 metres down, so it's impossible for them to frack anyway. What would you say to that?
Well, I think the thing is, what we're doing is we're talking about drilling for fossil fuels. That's the starting problem. But of course, when we know that the current oil price is at $30 US a barrel, many people, established producers, are struggling at that price. So it really doesn't seem to add up to claim that they're just looking for conventional oil here. People are very concerned, rightly, and you're hearing lots of support from passing motorists. People don't want any kind of drilling here, but they're understandably concerned about the potential for fracking. And if we don't drill, then we don't have to worry about fracking.
I think there is some concern from the local residents that we could end up with a Balkan situation, and many pastors, some would say causing a lot of trouble locally. What about that? Is it this the way forward?
Well, I think what I've seen is in places around the country, ranging from Morecambe to Upton, where we recently had a protection camp evicted, where it had very strong support near Chester, not necessarily a natural area for strong support for anti-fracking, but the locals had informed themselves, really becoming aware of the issues. And I was up there just before the eviction, and the locals were baking lots of cakes, providing lots of support for the protection camp. So what we're seeing is wherever local people become informed about these issues, they hear about these issues, and the protesters, the camps are really important to achieve that. Then people say, not only do we not want fracking, but people become more aware of climate change issues. And as we saw at Balkan, they then said we want to supply our own energy, and went in the direction of a community energy company to generate solar power.
Brilliant, fine.
Stay there, please.
Do the little acting bit.
Yeah, that's all right.
Will you up this for a second?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Every now.
Okay.
I think they were hoping that you'd go in and have a look round.
Well, I was planning to, but that's where I get to the bit where I get more passionate about renationalising the railways about 3 times a week on average. So I was planning to be here at least an hour earlier, but I'm afraid the the situation with the trains.
Round, do you think? Will he
I'm not sure what Keith's plans are, but that was my plan. But I'm afraid I just have to leave at a time, and so I'm here to support the camp and the protesters. So
Thank
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. How's that? A bit more. Okay.
Bit more.
So you're hoping that maybe are you wanting a bigger protest here, or is this enough?
Well, I think what we will see is naturally this will grow. Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing from the fact that this virtually started with a couple of people, and one of the things we're seeing is people are coming from around the country and getting together and supporting each other's protests. Yeah. Balcombe was really where it started. In Balcombe there were people from Wales, there were people from up in the northwest and northeast, and that's where people got together, got to know each other, and that was a really, really useful, supportive thing. But the movement has just grown since then, and it's become much broader as a movement, not just about opposition to fracking, but also support for renewables, support for energy conservation, support for a different kind of energy system, which was what was signed up to in Paris at the end of last year.
So we should get some shots of you together.
All right. Okay.